witches. So it is the Pisces dark moon, and that is probably the most spiritual of the moons. I mean, it's a dark moon rather than a full moon, but everything's in Pisces at the moment. All the planets are in Pisces. So we're in a very Piscean time. I have in recent years noticed that I find Pisces moon energy really like a lot and find it really confusing and bewildering, and last year I didn't enjoy it. This year, accidentally, I lent into it and have like surrendered to it, and really that is I didn't realise that was the card for Pisces, is the Hangman, which is surrender. I love the Hangman. I pulled the Hangman a lot in about 2000, I think it was 2020 actually. So 2020, yeah, it was definitely in the lead up to 2020. I was pulling the Hangman loads, and basically it was just saying surrender, capitulate. It's the kind of most difficult and magical part of fooling is capitulation, because at some point you have to capitulate and surrender into the performance, and once you've done that, you're meant to leave your ego behind, and it's the hardest bit to do, but is the most magical bit. And I think of it as like slipping through an hourglass. So if you're coming up on hallucinogens or slipping into sleep, and I guess death would be similar, that it's like a drowning, and you've got to kind of, drown through this sand, through this tiny little gap, and then slip through. But once you're through, you're fine. It's just that act of letting go and surrendering and slipping through. And yeah, 2020, my whole life changed, and I slipped through and ended up in a different reality. I believe on a different timeline, living my best life. I mean, I just went for a lovely walk with Diz, and like, I'm so in love with him, and we are so happy. And then I live in paradise, and my life is just ridiculously amazing. I love it here so much, and I'm so lucky. So I surrendered and slipped from one reality into another, and very lucky, and I really am blessed. I'm not, it's a bit annoying when people say that, but I am very appreciative of the universe for what has ended up happening. So Pisces is about surrendering, and this year I've enjoyed it. It's interesting because it brings up the dark night of the soul in you. It's like one of the last, like the moon card, which is the other card it's represented by, is like one of the last cards in the story of the tarot, the journey of the tarot, and it's like the last dark night of the soul. So you're having all these like enlightening moments, like, enlightenment's a continuous journey. There isn't some plateau that you get to where you get to like sit in a deck chair and have a cocktail. Like it never stops. But they're like, it's a spiral. So you're often learning the same lesson over and over again, but at deeper and deeper levels. And then like the moon is like the last one before the really big crunch, and it's the worst because it's like the end of level bosses get harder. And yeah, so that dark night of the soul. And I had that like basically February. I was ill for the whole of February. I burnt out, spinning too many plates, felt like I wasn't getting enough help, felt bitter, felt like I'm not good enough, just felt really like annoyed and pissed off with everything. And then something just plopped. I just surrendered. I mean, I got ill. I got really ill, and I just surrendered to being ill. And yeah, I think I kind of came out the other end of that and was just like, it's going to be fine. Like the wedding and the festival and everything's going to be fine. I am getting help. Like it just flipped, and it just was like, actually, I don't know why but it was good to go there. And it was good because it was a really like clear moment of really seeing what my failings are, what my dark night of the soul stuff is all those things. Like I get bitter, I get, and to be able to just look at them and be like, yeah, okay, I mean, it's not that bad. I'm not evil. they're not that bad. That's not that bad. It's just not very nice when I'm being like that or feeling like that, and makes people probably feel like I'm being quite ungrateful and things like that. So I don't want to do it, and I don't want to be like that. But the flip side of Pisces is it's the dreaming. It's your dreams. It's your imaginary world. It's aligning yourself with the universe, with God, the goddess, whatever name you want to give it, but like the highest deity, aligning yourself with it, and surrendering to your high purpose, the work, the great work. And the great work is aligning with the highest deity, whatever you call it. For me, it's the universe. So surrendering to and aligning with the universe, trusting it. That's what happened in 2020. I trusted it and it flipped me to here. Now I am trusting it as well. There is something that I really want at the moment, and Pisces is really bringing it out in me, because it's all about your dreams. And I really want to get a little bit famous for writing a good book about the pilgrimages, which I have just finished, and I'm happy with it. And I've got 3 more to write, and I'm really excited about writing them, because they're going to get harder and hopefully better as I go along, and more complicated. And I just want them to do as well as like the Salt Path. I want people to know about it, not necessarily even know my name, but know the book, and for me to be able to go about my life and no one recognise me or anything, but people know the book, and to make some decent money from it. That's what I want. And I think that that's an obtainable goal. So that's what I'm aiming for. That's what I'm dreaming of, and that's what I would love to happen. But if the universe decides that that's not going to happen, then that's not going to happen. I'll adjust it, because something more interesting will happen. It's going to come up with something better than I ever come up with. So I'm just going to keep trusting and letting the universe lead. And even if none of those things ever happen, and I never, I just trust. I trust the universe. So I'm going to do a reading now for the Pisces dark moon. And we're going to do some really cool work tonight, which I'm really excited about. Normally we'd make mojo bags for the dark moon, but we're going to work with our dreams and with this energy, because it's juicy, and these things are coming up in my world generally anyway. So I always go with the flow and work with what's there. So we're going to do some great work tonight. I'm really excited about. And you've probably been having really funky dreams at the moment. If you are, there's a process that Carl Jung used to do, where you write the dream down, and then sort of forgetting about what it meant or how it felt or anything like that. You just think, what was the main image? Like, what was the strongest theme? So I had a really vivid dream last night about an extremely tall tree that you couldn't see the top of. And it was like, I guess, a redwood. It was some kind of like evergreeny type tree that was extremely tall, and it was outside my window. So I kind of always thought if there was a fire or anything, I'd jump onto this tree. Not that there was any branches, like it was trunk and the branches were higher up, but I'd have had to sort of grab the trunk. But it was really tall, and I was trying to measure it by walking the shadow, measuring how many strides was the shadow. I don't know how I thought that would work, but I was doing that. And the shadow fell across a graveyard, and I was walking through a graveyard. So yeah, I felt like it was quite a prophetic dream. So you would then take the images, so it's like graveyard and tree, and then you write down all the things that tree means to you and graveyard means to you, and then kind of pull out what the kind of key thing is from that, and then you write that into a message to yourself. So like, what does tree mean? To me, tree represents the tree of life, and yeah, the fact it was so tall and spectacular, be the tree of life, and then the graveyard as well, and it falling across the graveyard, it feels like it's the tree of life. So you've got the top of the trees in the heaven, Yggdrasil, it's called Yggdrasil. The top of the trees is the heavens, and then the roots is the afterlife, and then in the middle is where we live, which was where I was kind of in the middle, looking out my window at it. And so yeah, just a connection to the inner and the outer, as above so below, all of that. I'm having quite a lot of dreams that are about that at the moment, connecting to the inner and outer world and the dreaming. Yeah. that's great. I enjoy doing that. So that's what I would make. That's what I would read from it. So yeah, you look at what the kind of things are in it and what they represent, and then find a meaning for it. And so then you write a letter to yourself when you go to sleep, and then see if your dream answers it. So I guess what I would want to know is, I'm dreaming a lot about the inner and the outer at the moment, and the other side. Is there something that you're trying to share with me? Is there a message that you want to come through? How do you want me to work with you, I guess? Yeah, because it's sort of saying that that's all opening up. Like I dreamt about a jaguar the other day, and that's a very powerful animal to dream of. Like that's kind of almost like the top hallucination to have on ayahuasca. And yeah, I had a jaguar that was completely in love with me, like a baby jaguar. And that represents like this inner and outer world, and the kind of, yeah, shamanic journey happening, all kind of coming to a big point, I guess, like surrendering, popping through to the other side. But yeah, I suppose I'm interested in how it wants me to work with it. I mean, I already am. I'm doing it with divination and things like that, but maybe there's something else, maybe, or, I don't know, or just nice to know. Yeah, thumbs up. The inner world's going, whee! Yeah, cool. So let's see what the stones are saying about this Piscean moon. So mankind, manas. So mankind, we're working for mankind. Anything is possible, and this is in the physical world, which is nice to hear because with my book, anything's possible. Roll the dice, take a chance, see what happens, get lucky, be brave, and this is in your communications. So be brave. For me, that would be put yourself out there, send your stuff to the agents. Abundance, and this is in our willpower. So yeah, I think that was another thing that came up in my dark night. The soul scarcity is another one for me. So knowing that in your will, in my like inner world, like that emotional world, my chakras and stuff, to just know that there's no such thing as scarcity. Like I'm fully abundant, got everything I need, written the book's good, believe in it, put yourself out there, just feel abundant and feel full. Aha, and then it's my root, which is in the spiritual one, in the water. Ah, that's nice. And that's that anything, again, it's anything that's possible, but this is transformation. This is like, it's the sperm. So it's popping the egg, it's slipping through, it's letting, it's great reading. Brilliant. Believe, do it, just go for it, and something new will burst and come through. That's telling me that my ceremony's in 5 minutes. Right, so let's pull some clarifying cards. Exciting. Well, that's a lovely reading. I do love life. Right. Ooh. Oh, blimey. Okay. Happiness, which is abundance. So yeah, just being fully happy. Happy. And then we've got the lovers, which is again the inner and the outer. So that's the twin. So working with the twin, I might do some more fooling. I haven't done any fooling for a while. I feel like that I'm being called to do some fooling. And then the fucking tower. So that is, I haven't pulled that for ages. That is a burn of ego. It's time to put that motherfucking ego to bed, which I'm up for. Jesus, my one's tiring. I think everyone's is, isn't it? Fucking boring. So yeah, time to let go of the story of Jolie. And, you know, everything and anything's possible when you're not trapped in Joliness or whatever your name isness. When you do fooling and you capitulate, you can become a teapot, you can become a bridge. Like, you just are infinite. You can be anything, you can do anything. And yeah, all limitations, all your limitations just dissolve, and you are literally anything and everything. Your gods, your archetypes, yeah, it's incredible. I'm gonna do some fooling, I haven't done it for a while. Cosmic way. Well, that's perfect. Very Piscean. Great. Wow, this is a cool reading. It's a powerful night tonight. It's been a powerful moon. A Pisces moon's just a wacky, absolutely wacky. So yeah, sacred. Yeah, I'm really leaning. Everything is sacred. Everything is an act of worship, and this is all a prayer, and it's all a work of art. The whole thing. And then we'll pull an archetype card, and what we got here? We have That's my goddess, Babao. She's just a vagina with a face. She's very Nanny Og. Nanny Og's my archetype. She's my archetype. Laughter. Be silly. Be an archetype. Be your gods. This is very exciting reading. Just fool. Don't fucking take it seriously. Fool. Life is a play. But play it like your life depends on it. Fucking A. That's probably one of the coolest readings I've ever done. Awesome. So have a lovely dark moon. Bless some water. Baptize yourself with it. Anoint yourself. Go swimming. Have a sacred bath. And then, yeah. Write your dreams down. Write to your dreams. Write a letter to your dreams. Anything you need to ask or want to ask. Ask the dreaming. And, yeah, get in there. Get involved. So thank you. Have a lovely night. And I shall see you soon.